Hi everyone, I'm using the Psychic Tarot of the Heart for our reading today. I'll choose 3 cards, take some from the base of the pack. I'll choose one from Anna Stark's pack and one from the Mystical Healing as well for some extra guidance. We're on the full moon. The full moon in Scorpio occurred in the UK early hours of the 24th. So we're still in the energies of this full moon. The full moon occurs when the sun and the moon are opposite, illuminate each other. There is also Pluto affecting this full moon. So Pluto is the ruling sign of Scorpio. So there's immense transformational energy that is stirring within us, and if we keep going down, dropping beneath each feeling that we have, we may feel happy, then we drop below that, we may feel mystical, we drop below that, we feel positive, then we drop below that, we feel a little bit of frustration, we drop below that, and this sadness for everything that we've been through, sadness at how we treat each other, sadness at what's happening in the world. So there's grief there, and this grief is working its way up through the layers, because once we connect with this grief and we listen to it and bring healing there, bring light there, we come into alignment with our authentic self, that our divine self, our soul self, that as the wisdom and the knowing that everything is in divine order. So whatever is being brought up, it could be something physical because the sun is in Taurus. Taurus is the grounding, the earth sign, the bull that is just moving very slowly. Love's comfort will always look after will always look after us as that solution for every problem, and is the shamanic, working with the ground, getting hands deep into the soil, taking our shoes and socks off, stepping out into nature. Then the moon, that is our feelings in Scorpio, and Scorpio shines a light on things we do not want to see, whether it's within us or around us. It shines a light, not meaning to bring any discomfort to us, with the assistance in helping us see maybe those patterns, those unhealed parts of us that are still lurking around there in the shadows, that we are projecting into our life unconsciously. Pluto is there opposing the sun and the moon. So there's some tension going on, some tension within our bodies. We may not feel right. I know personally this full moon is affecting me and in numerous ways. I see the people around me, it's also affecting them, especially in relationships, because this energy is one of transformation. So if we are in a relationship that is from a out of alignment with our true authenticity, the energy will start to show us. Things will start to come in between that relationship. And oftentimes, it's doing the healing within ourselves, not trying to fix and force anything on the outside world. So whatever sign you are, we are still in the Uranus, the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction, which has been huge. Uranus pushing us out of our comfort zone. Jupiter expanding our horizons. And also Mercury, the communication planet, the god of communication, in retrograde through Aries, conjunct the North Node. So when we tap into Mercury, Mercury brings messages. So when we ask to be shown which direction that we are meant to move, Jupiter will bring those messages. Mercury will bring those messages. So Mercury is in retrograde in the underworld, bringing up those messages for us to hear, for us to pay attention to, so that we can realign ourselves. So there's so much assistance coming from the cosmos. It may feel uncomfortable, we may feel tired, we may have headaches, however it is affecting us. There's a lot of activity from the sun, solar flares, that affect us. They affect our digestive system, they affect bringing maybe some headaches, and a reminder to stay hydrated, to really bless our water before we drink it, to go within, to keep going deeper and deeper within, because anything that is uncomfortable and anything that's occurring in our outside world and whatever it is invoking within us, that's the disowned part of ourselves that we're not loving, the emotion, the discomfort, to go in and embrace ourselves through those challenging times, embrace ourselves and take some time out if we are facing some disharmony in our lives, when we are facing something that may be bringing up some fear, because we're being shifted from this comfort that we have created around ourselves. Maybe our egos created it around us to keep us safe. Things are falling away now, and it can feel disorientating. Mars still there in Pisces, just cleansing and resting and receiving downloads, receiving the healing of doing the zodiac wheel, of travelling round the zodiac. He's in the last sign now. He's completed the full circle. So he is resting, rejuvenating, reflecting how maybe we could have changed things and maybe acted differently, reacted differently, maybe pausing and responding from a place of peace instead of anger in certain situations when we look back, over the past 12 or so months. So doing a reflection of the past, allowing things to come up without projecting them onto anyone, knowing that things are going to happen in divine order, not to fight with that, not to try and force things to stay the same. Things are moving and shifting and improving once we let go and go with whatever is occurring in our lives. Pause and flow the best we can. And also with all this emotions, the moon is our emotions, our feelings. Pluto is shining a light there on those feelings that we have, that if we have any self-worth issues, they're going to be short, that we're going to feel them. We're going to feel changes in our lives, and when these changes are coming in, we can sometimes go within and start to blame ourselves because we're not good enough. We can't do things as good as others, however it is affecting each and every one of us. To have patience with ourselves, to have patience with each other. We only have to look into the outside world to see what's going on, and maybe that's bringing some sadness up. When we look out at what's happening and how people treat each other, maybe there's some sadness there that's bubbling to the surface, and we've suppressed it and looked the other way. Instead of feeling the feeling, we suppress it and bring something positive into our lives, which is good. That is really good. But we have to listen to that, what's going on within us. We have to listen to the sadness and feel it, and do our self-healing on it. So when we go deep in the layers to the core, and this is what Scorpio and Pluto are asking us to do, and Mercury in retrograde, asking us to go deep and really go into those feelings, because all the time they are there, we will create the experience to fulfill those emotions because they're a part of our energy. So when we feel it, and once we feel it, once we go through the layers into the veils of our emotions, once we start to open the veil of our deepest emotions, our deepest fears, the light can shine in, and we can look around there and know that everything's going to be okay. There is instant healing once we tap in and look in there and shine the light there. It's when we cover it up and keep it in the dark. We don't speak about it. We don't even want to think about it. Because if we start thinking about it, we're fearful of manifesting it. I have so many people speak to me about that. I don't want to think it. I don't want to speak it because I don't want to manifest it. But there's some times where the cosmos, the universe lines up and shines a torch. And within that torch, there is within that light, there is immense healing, because once we see it and breathe through it and allow it to work through our bodies, whether we speak about it, Mercury in retrograde in Aries, whether we speak about it create a sacred space at home where we can write and channel and burn, or we can speak it out and then cleanse ourselves and cleanse the space when we have completed that ritual of speaking and letting go. Because the more we push down and push down, we are coming out of alignment. And we'll start to feel it in our bodies through aches and pains. Our bodies will come out of alignment, and we'll feel it within our structure in our bones. So when we start to breathe it through, we come into that alignment. So just delve deep, go into how you're feeling in the moment, and if you're happy, go deeper. What's the feeling beneath that happiness? Mystical. Go deeper. Positive. Go deeper. Sadness. There's some sadness there. The sadness of what is happening in this third dimension that we are holding and armouring within ourselves, because it's bringing some fear up. So as we shift those layers, look beneath those layers, deep within our core, and go in, because there is a disowned part of ourselves there that's in fear, that's in sadness, that may be in grief, to go and embrace that part of ourselves with love, with this light that's coming through, this divine intelligence. Pluto is assisting us in alchemizing all that cheap metal, that heavy, dense energy. So we're going down into the root of past lives, of ancestral, and we've been doing this work. We've been going through layer by layer by layer, and now it's the final purge. We will still have challenges, but this is a final, because a final going deeper and deeper within, because as we come into May, the Mercury starts, it is stationary still there in his retrograde, but slowing down and becoming stationary. And then starts is direct movement in direct, and then we will start to flow. So from tomorrow we'll feel something shift, but while we've got this opportunity on this full moon that's beaming on us, Pluto there in Aquarius, the higher mind, helping Mercury, the communication planet, all that assisting us in the transformation of how we communicate with each other, how we actually affect each other. So it's a huge energy, and however you're feeling it, go with it. Don't suppress it. Don't escape it. Find some time to look beneath the layers. Don't be fearful of doing that. Don't be fearful, because what you will find is what you're scared of. And it's not, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that creates an illusion all around us. So when we go into it, just seeing it, just actually seeing it and taking our attention there and transmuting it will create profound healing within our bodies, within our minds, within our emotions, and outside within our reality, because we won't be sending those frequencies out from that lower vibration out to start to create situations in our lives that we keep going into, all programs we'll keep stepping into. We'll go into a program where we are just so flat, so tired, so we'll go through that. So when we go into what is actually draining us of our life force energy that we're not wanting to see, we are coming out of our bodies because we don't want to feel. But Pluto, Scorpio, is saying there is gold there in those emotions, in those feelings, and we see them, we feel that love, and it transmutes. So these wounds opening for us during these full moon, during this conjunction which is still active, the Uranus and Jupiter conjunction is still active, still working on us. Uranus bringing in the sudden changes to bring us into alignment. It's the Fool in the tarot, new beginnings, bringing us into these new beginnings on a new journey. And Jupiter bringing in and gifting us this spiritual awakening in Taurus, asking us to ground it in our Earth star, bring it in and ground it in our Earth star. So as we allow the fears and challenges of the past, any unforgiveness that we may have, to fade, we start anchoring in light. We anchor in divine intelligence, divine guidance. So I'm setting the intention for a reading for the highest and greatest good, for the collective, or anyone who views this video. That we have one, the Ace of Swords there, the Death card release, which is the card of Scorpio, the Crown Chakra, and I'm asking for a card to give us some clarification under the Crown Chakra. Win or lose. Well, and beneath the pack we have the Heart Chakra, the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, Strength. So the Ace of Swords, this is all around our crown, receiving this immense light coming in from the luminaries of the moon and the sun. The right hemisphere of our brain and the left hemisphere of our brain coming into alignment, allowing peace to fill our minds, allowing whatever colour brings you calmness. Breathe it in through your mind. A nice bright colour. Breathe it in through your mind and through all the pathways of your mind. Maybe it is violet because that's the colour of the crown. So breathe violet in through your crown and allow it to cleanse and clear any thought forms that are no longer serving. Breathe it in. Feel the cleansing and the expansion of the light as we receive the downloads that come in, because as we transmute the old, lower thought forms, we open up to connect to the higher frequencies and receive these downpouring of light, downpouring of light codes of these transmissions that are coming through from the cosmos. You can see that we are being gifted with a new way of thinking, and as we start that new way of thinking, we create a new life around us. And then the death card. The death card, this is the card that is connected to Scorpio. Death and release. The endings and beginnings, the ruling planet of Scorpio is Pluto, bringing in that transformation, beautiful transformation. You can see there, as we spoke about the layers, looking down, going in, down through these layers. This is what I see when I'm looking into this card, going through those layers into the light, because in that deepest part of us there is light. Allowing the transformation of those emotions, those feelings that we unconsciously are projecting into our life, onto other people. So this is release, powerful release today. Spending time in that peace and going within and allowing those layers to just fall away until we come into the center. In the center there is divine source energy. So this is a time of release. Then we have the heart. Again, working around the crown, around our heart during this full moon and these cleansings. Our heart, the gateway between heaven and earth, and if our lower chakras are out of alignment, we're not going to connect to the higher realms. We will speak from an emotion that's within ourselves. So as we are doing this, and Uranus is bringing through the Kundalini rising. The rising of our Kundalini is bringing it in. Jupiter is bringing the grace to assist our rising of the Kundalini. So as we bring these lower chakras into alignment, our heart opens and we become a gateway, a portal of energy, divine energy. So there's heart. Go within your heart. Go deep into your heart and feel feel, and where there is any discomfort, place love there. Be gentle and know when we see it, when we tap into it, it brings the healing. The Five of Swords. In this deck it's win or lose. In the traditional tarot it is the Five of Swords. That is one of conflict. So this conflict is in our minds. We may project it and create conflict around us. Then we lose control. When we listen to the conflict that's going on within us or our minds and start to calm it. This is Mercury in retrograde in Aries, going down into the deep, into the underworld, bringing these messages up from that deep, unhealed part of us. Mercury is bringing the messages from there to listen, to find the peace within that, in that conflict. Because when we go into conflict and we are having conflicting thoughts, we have surges of anger, frustration, which raises our blood pressure. It's not healthy. There's nothing healthy about going into conflict with anyone and ourselves. It could be going into conflict with ourselves, of wishing things were different. So wherever it may be occurring, if you're going into this is a gossipy card. May think people are gossiping, or going into that place of projecting our unhappiness around us. To put that sword in the ground, to ground ourselves before we start, because our words are spells. We will create from our words. They are a vibration that is strings of vibration that go out and create matter. Will draw in the experiences, and once those words are said, they're there. They are there. So take a breath to go, pick a pen, write and burn on how you're feeling, go for a nice walk and allow that emotion to work through you in a healthy way, not suppressing it, not exploding inside, because that is not healthy. That is not loving ourselves. To just go for a walk, do some training, whatever it is, put some nice music on, clean our home, whatever it is that we can do to work through this emotion, these feelings, in a healthy way. The Eight of Pentacles. Again, chipping away. We spoke about this, chipping away at that rock, at those layers that we have that are so intricately woven through thoughts, feelings, beliefs, are woven. And we're starting to chip away at those beliefs, chipping away at who we we're told we were. Finding ourselves. Chipping away at the dense energy. And with this powerful healing that's coming through the planets and the moon and the sun, is softening those layers so that we can peel them and the light shine in, peel them and the light shine in, to actually own these feelings, to acknowledge them instead of pushing them to one side. Then when they rise up, think there's something wrong with us, think we're not spiritual any longer, think that we've stepped off our path, when there's such great wisdom there. And that's where we gain wisdom, and that wisdom helps us to connect even further with our divinity. So we're chipping away, but it's falling as we're seeing it, we're owning it and not being fearful of it, with the understanding, with the knowledge, with the knowing that when we see it, it's not relevant in our lives any longer. We're not that person. We've done the work. We're not that person. We don't need to fear. We do not need to get upset. We take a breath and things start to crumble, and as it crumbles, we then stand in our crystalline light. The Two of Wands, asking us in this deck to spread our wings, to fly. We can't fly when we're carrying this heavy weight. It just holds us back. We drag this weight along with us. And as now it's being dissolved, opening our hearts, taking a breath, and I just feel that there is a wiping of the slate. So things like karma debt being wiped clean, because as we release these layers and chip away to the core of who we truly are, we are letting go of so much karma. And now we're starting to move with no fear, with kindness, emanating kindness. And then we have the Strength card. And in this one, it's control. And when I see this and this together, win or lose. When we control ourselves, we can't control anyone out there. We can't control what's going on in the world. But what we can control is what we project, how we move through the world. With this card, always Archangel Ariel steps forward, the lioness of God. Because when we let go of these layers, when we dissolve these layers, when we allow them to fade, when we acknowledge them and not suppress them, and not go into those dark spaces that we have within ourselves, and light moves and dissolves, we start to manifest from a pure energy. So we're not manifesting the same things happening, the same disappointment, the same relationships, endings, whatever it may be, the heartbreak. When we let all the fear of all that go, we stop manifesting it. We manifest from a pureness of bringing stepping into that higher timeline that's there. We're moving up through these timelines. We might go back onto another one and shift onto another one. We're doing a lot of shape shifting onto different timelines, timeline jumping. We're moving, but we might go back to an old one because there's something there that needs to be seen. And as we're doing that, we're moving and releasing ourselves, releasing and allowing our soul to resurrect from those past lives, from those old timelines. And then we start to manifest from a pureness without any contamination, from a dense energy that's going out and creating something that will bring an opportunity in, but then it's not quite aligned with us. Bring a partner in, but it's not aligned with us. The relationship, career, the same. So staying in this time, really taking this opportunity to go deep because we're strong enough. We've done the work. We've done so much work for a while now to really go in and allow Pluto to shine the light, Scorpio to bring those feelings up. They are assisting us. It's nothing bad. It's really great, because when we do, magic surges through our bodies. Uranus and Jupiter bringing in the Kundalini rising, waking up to the magician and the mystic and the high priestess of who we all are, that resides within us, that's through lifetimes has been persecuted for being that way. It's hid. Now it's time. A powerful awakening is occurring. We can't stop it. Just breathe through it. It's like the final purge, the final push. We've been talking about this for years. We've gone through one stage, and then another, and then another, and now we're coming to the final stages. Allow things to just work through us, breathe through it. We've got the strength to do it. This is why we're here. So I'm asking Anna Starks Pack now for a message for us all on this powerful full moon in Scorpio, to please bring through some guidance for each and every one of us. There we are. This card always comes out Galactic Healer. We are the Pleiadians, galactic healers of the highest healing academies of the galaxy, of the universe, all assisting us with intelligence that's far beyond what we hold in our heads, aligning us, infusing us with surges of healing that are bringing us into alignment to open up and accept that. So if anything's coming forward, if anything's coming up, if we're feeling not right, know that a star being has come around us and is sitting with us and assisting us through that healing, to breathe, to even visualize a beautiful star being there, call them in. Always ask for 100% light to bring in that healing that is required for you to feel joy, to have full health and well-being, to be prosperous. They're here to help us, to release us from the limiting beliefs we have placed upon ourselves. So feel the energy, this beautiful energy of the galactic healers. And now I'm asking for a message from the mystical healing. Minimize guilt. Wherever there is guilt, wherever we're not feeling good enough, wherever we are, wherever, even if we're placing blame on someone else, whatever is coming up, start to allow it to fade. Everything is in divine order. Your soul knows exactly what relationships it is meant to engage in during this incarnation, what experiences. Let go of guilt. Guilt is the opposite to love. Where we hold guilt and maybe unforgiveness, we punish ourselves. We create scenarios in our lives to actually punish ourselves. We bring the people in, we set the stage for that. So take a nice deep breath during this time. Wherever you may be holding on to any guilt, know that we can't control anything or anyone outside of us. Again, it's how we deal with those situations that occur in our lives, and deal with them in a gentle way. So anything of guilt, when you're going down those layers, any guilt there that you're finding hard, because within that guilt there's some grief, there's some sadness, whatever, take a breath, really take a breath, allow the light. You don't even have to try and understand how it will heal. The light will go in and do what it's meant to do. Ground yourself, Mother Mary, with a singing, with a beautiful golden bird in our heart. Grounding ourselves, taking that breath and anchoring this light that's pouring in into the heart, into our soul star chakra, and then into the heart of Mother Earth. And she is our divine mother. She is the mother who wants us to let go of everything that pains us, just like we do with our children or our friends or our clients, whoever. We would love to take everything off them, but we can't, because that's the journey, that's the learning, the karma. We can set no light and show them love. Mother Earth is the neutralizer. So when we let all the energy, any feelings that arise, to just breathe and allow it to go into the earth for transformation. And as we release it, see flowers growing, transmuting it into beautiful flowers for Mother Earth. So grounding ourselves during this time. So I'm sending so much love and healing to anyone who is going through any kind of upset and going through any any feelings, whether it's in your physical body. This is all Taurus, this is happening in Taurus. We've got Venus there in Aries as well with Chiron. So there's lots of healing of the heart, of our self-worth. And Archangel Jamiel is stepping forward. And the message that Archangel Jamiel is bringing us is that difficult situations are coming to an end. To take a nice breath, feel the lightness of everything being lifted and shifted and faded within us, so that we can step into a time of happiness. The worst is behind us. So take a breath in that knowing that we've got Archangel Mule helping us and guiding us, and will help us to do our life review, to reflect into anything that may come up if we go in and there's a situation or an experience there, to call in Archangel Jamiel to help us to do our life review in that situation, to heal. So I'm sending so much love and healing to anyone who is in need. Thank you for listening. God bless.